Virtual Racing School was developed to provide support to the next generation of sim racers. No matter if you're a rookie or veteran or what car or track you'll be racing, our goal is to provide training every step of the way. We found that iRacing can be quite difficult without proper training. There needed to be a way to prepare for on-track racing. With VRS, you can literally learn from the best sim racers in the world, including 4-time NASCAR iRacing World Champion Ray Alfalla.
And Ray Alfalla is a 4-time champion of the NASCAR Peak Antifreeze iRacing Series.
3-time iRacing Grand Prix World Champion Martin Kroenke.
Martin Kroenke becomes a 3-time world champion.
Rallycross World Champion Mitchell de Jong.
Mitchell de Jong is now champion for the iRacing Rallycross World Championship Series.
And many other top sim racers. Data packs include everything you need to start learning. Our World Championship coaches create the data packs by setting a hot lap or a series of fast laps for you to compare, analyze, and replicate. Data packs also include a tutorial where the coach points out techniques they use to hit the fast lap. This gives you access to the latest driving techniques and setups before you even hit the track. Sign up for a free account and download the VRS telemetry logger. With this application running seamlessly in the background, your laps automatically start syncing to the VRS website. From there, you can analyze and compare 2 laps of your choice, whether it's your data, the coaches, or your teammates. VRS will automatically target improvement opportunities so you can get up to speed even faster. VRS also makes it easy for you to request and schedule one-on-one or group coaching sessions. These sessions can range from 30 to 90 minutes, and you can select the car, track, and setup combination of your choice. Visit virtualracingschool.com today to sign up and get started.
Hello race fans and welcome to the Apex Racing League Touring Car Championship live from Brands Hatch in Kent, beautiful Kent, here for this round of the Apex Racing League Touring Car Championship. My name is Peter Mackay and joining me in the commentary box this evening is Sam Fitzpatrick, bringing you all these beautiful images of this classic British circuit and these very snazzy SDK Gaming graphics is Samuli Kumo in the production booth. Sam, it's been a superb season so far, and we've been to a huge variety of tracks, but the Brands Hatch Indy, it's another Oran Park, isn't it? Tight, twisty, and perhaps even lap traffic might come into it.
Yeah, this one should be a very fun one. I'll explain why we have this now. Back in January, there were some very optimistic people who were doing the BTCC scheduling, and they were hoping that this would be the first round of the championship, I believe, at Brands Hatch Indy, hence why it is here. We were hoping to have some BTCC action in just a couple of days' time. Unfortunately, that hasn't been the case, albeit looking to get back to the season later on in the year. But I'm still very happy that we are here at Brands Hatch, proper classic circuit. Very short, of course. The drivers will know this place so well. It doesn't take a long time to learn it either. So should be a good one. I think the drivers have been feeling pretty positive about this one. I think they're looking forward to it.
I bet they are. Yes, indeed. It's actually a brilliant little track for racing here at Brands Hatch, indeed. Although whatever it lacks in size, it makes up for in excitement. So let's look at the championship standings, and it has been a very positive few rounds for Kieran Harrison, who now holds a pretty good advantage over George Simmons, who's the new contender to the crown. And it's been a frankly disastrous couple of rounds for Carl Janssen, particularly last time out. As you can see, nearly 200 points off the back of Harrison. But if there's anything we know, Sam, that the Apex Racing League Touring Car Championship, it can flip on its head very quickly indeed. So by far from done.
Absolutely. I mean, one retirement, and that can be a league gone. Here's the amateur championship. Mark Woodhouse with a very good run of form recently, getting ahead of Ben Gregory, but you know that's once again a tiny gap in the grand scheme of things. Still got like 20 odd races still to complete for this season. Gregory in second place, and then it's Fritsch up into third. Good job there for Marcel Fritsch, has been good in qualifying recently, and then Glasgow, Johnston, and Tim Perry, of course, has already got a championship under his belt. Also some teams championships, we don't talk about it too much. I might give some points on the teams championship later on, but there's both a pro and an amateur teams championship up for the offing. Of course, one open for the pro drivers, one open for the amateur drivers, and that's pretty close as well. So still plenty to play for as we head into the second half of the season.
Indeed there is, yes, of course. The Apex Racing team looking quite good right now with Wojciech Surydovic and, of course, George Simmons as well. So they could be in a good position for the Pro Class Championship, but you can never, ever write off HM Engineering. Of course, Kieran Harrison, the championship leader for that team, but also we have Roman Bokler, Norbert Leitner as well. And Corentin Guinez through. So there's it's going to be actually a really interesting battle between those two teams. Now, Sam, tell me, and I'm first of all say I'm sorry for throwing you under the bus here. I should know this, but is there a certain? Can you basically field as many cars as you want, or is there is it say 2 count or 3 count at each round?
So there are a maximum of 3 drivers per team, and their best 2 scores at each meeting count towards their points. Yeah, that's I think that's pretty much all there is to it. Penalty points should count regardless, I believe, even if it is but basically I'm overcomplicating this. That's the system that we pretty much have in this series, and so it really does give kind of teams who are just 2 drivers and teams who are 3 drivers kind of an equal chance at winning. Of course, you want those 3 drivers in case one of the drivers has a bad round, but it means that pretty much everyone out there is part of a team that could potentially win the championship.
Well, we're looking on screen right now at beautifully explained, Sam. Sorry, beautifully explained. We're looking at Adam Bath right now for AlphaTauri Touring Car. Right now, who's been he had a really good season. We missed him last week out, and his teammate, both former ARLTC commentators, Andrew Woodhouse, running in 21st right now, and of course Andrew, also known as Woody, got to taste a little bit of the AM-class bubbly last week. It was English sparkling wine, but it's still bubbly.
Oh, absolutely, he'll take it.
You can spray it. As long as you can spray it, it counts.
Yeah. Well, I remember when I used to do karting, when I had hopes and dreams, aspirations. And of course, when you're 12 years old, they don't let you on the champagne, so you do have just some water, and that was very fun. You can get very wet with just some squares of water. So no, he would. I don't think it was even sparkling. I think it was. I'm not quite sure what concoction it was, but yes, he will be very pleased with that one. But he drove well in race 3, and I really think this round is a very open round. I think we could well see an amateur race win. It's going to be tricky for drivers to move up the order, and it's just such a simple circuit this, and we only visited here the full circuit, that is, a couple of seasons ago. So I really think the competitiveness will be up. Maybe Woody could even snatch a overall podium perhaps tonight.
Well, they came very close at Oran Park, of course, to achieving exactly that. But great progress all season, I would say. And yeah, an AM class win last time out. Very, very good indeed. In fact, it is in the AM category right now, signified by a blue marker on our SDK Gaming screen, just beside the left of the driver's name. We have Woodhouse and Woodhouse out front. Have you been in an accident? Call Woodhouse and Woodhouse now on 8888 8884.
I would not trust a name like that one from the reputation that these two have established of Woodhouse. I would not go within arm's length of anyone like that.
Can you imagine phoning them up? For Woody's on the end of the phone, he's like, "Hello, Woodhouse and Woodhouse. Oh, well, I've been in an accident. Oh, bang!"
I think that would be their slogan.
Oh, bang!
Yes. Yeah, get a little bit of the bubbly in there as well. One way or another.
3 bottles of the bubbly with every policy.
There you go. Yep. We watch this one. Anyway, we've got 1.5 more minutes of qualifying. It should be a frantic qualifying or end to qualifying. Times could well continue to improve at Harrison currently. But an astonishing time, and that's no slipstream. You know, there isn't really much of an advantage with a slipstream. You can gain maybe a couple of tenths, but it's really what you do through the corners, which will matter around a circuit like this. And Harrison over a 10th clear, that is a very good effort. Savidovic, Bokler qualifying well. I mean, Bokler always a strong show, doesn't necessarily qualify always right at the front, but he's up there in 3rd place. And then Flatson, who's been driving well recently, and then of course championship rival Janssen and Simmons, and he's down in 5th and 7th.
Very, very intriguing qualifying session here. Of course, Roman Bokler racing in this year's in real life European Renault Clio Cup. So he is, we talk about his real world touring car experience quite a bit, but yeah, Renault Clio Cup, so mini touring cars if you like.
Yeah, and we have a lot of real life drivers who race in our Apex Racing League events. Some of them, I think, kind of use it quite casually. I think Roman does take it very seriously though, which is awesome to see. Maybe not quite as seriously as the other drivers, but he still, you know, takes it all very professionally, which is awesome to see. Of course, scoring valuable points for HM Engineering for them to get the team's championship. And he's currently on his final lap. However, once we get to the 15 and 1 second time, all the drivers will disappear, and that will be the end of qualifying.
Indeed, it will. So this is how they line up for the opening race here at Brands Hatch. Kieran Harrison, your championship leader, on pole by over a 1/10 of a second. Quite a large margin here at Brands Hatch Indy. Wojciech Suridovic will join Harrison on the front row of the grid. Row 2 will be Roman Bokler and Terje Flatten, with Carl Janssen a return to form alongside Norbert Leitner. Row 4 will be George Simmons and Jack Sedgwick, with Adam Hadfield and Daniel Nagy rounding out the top 10. Fraser Smith and Marcel Tai will start from the 6th row, followed by Craig Williams, Vasily Zaitsev and Hub Etterman rounding out the top 15. Starting 16th on the grid is Igor Shorokov, followed by Jason Cooper, Martin Aschert, and you'll see the rest of your drivers circling through there as we have nearly 40 drivers tonight for this race, 38 in total. And Sam, who's your pick for this one?
Oh dear. I think Harrison, you've got to get Harrison, haven't you? I mean, he's been good off the race starts so far this season. There's not a big difference between the drivers and the race starts. Not the most tricky car to get off the... Well, actually, no, it is a very tricky car to get off the line. But these top guys are just very good at it. So as long as Harrison keeps the lead going into turn 1, I think he should be good. He showed really good pace in qualifying. He's on a great run of form. Savidovic has just got to absolutely nail it and try to get ahead into Paddock Bend on lap 1. Really important lap 1, this one of the most important of the season.
Indeed, yeah. And you know, I think Suridovic is due a win. He's been knocking on the door the last few weeks, Sam. I think he could strike a little bit of a surprise here for Harrison. And of course, you can't write off Janssen either. I wonder if Carl Janssen will be coming back determined, fresh, ready to settle the score. But that's enough spread betting from from me. We all know that the house always wins. Just ask the boss of Bet365. 500 million a year, honestly. Anyway, the lights are coming up. Here we go. 2, 3, 4, 5. And out they go. We are off here at Brands Hatch for the first of 3 sprint races. They head down into Paddock Hill, and it's a perfect start from Kieran Harrison. Suridovic has to give best and tuck in behind. Bolkler has the inside line on Terje Flatten for turn 2. Round they go then down towards Graham Hill Bend, and it's all 2x2. They should call this Noah's Ark hairpin.
Good driving from the guys there. No changes in the top 9 so far. They've all just stayed in the same row, and it was just an equal start seemingly for everyone. Barely anyone got a good start. Ascher has dropped a couple of places, down 3 places, but that's the biggest losser in the top 20 drivers at the moment. So there's a little bit more racing. Oh, Zaitsev with a huge crash into the wall, and I'm always scared when the motorbikes go through there that they could potentially hit the wall, and that shows how little runoff there is. He absolutely crushed that tyre wall.
Yeah, I tell you what, it makes you feel dizzy watching motorbikes race around here because they get around so quickly and they just devour the straight with all that power and so little weight as well. But Harrison off to a very good start indeed. This is exactly what he needs to do. Just get out in front and hit his pace. Just hit his markers, with Janssen back in 5th where he qualified. And Janssen will be in a very, very much of a hurry to try and get to the front and get in touch with the championship leader and try and recover what has been a difficult few weeks for the Super Swede.
Absolutely, he's home to buy this time at the moment as we have a bit of a move here for Negi here on Smith. Smith just with a better to exit though as they already head on to lap 3 of the race. Everyone's in a train. The slipstream isn't massively advantageous, but when you've got such an evenly matched field as this, it does just help keep the pack nice and close to one another. And Negi's going to have to try another move here. Of course, the real-life driver, along with a couple of others, is Negi. As he goes up the inside, Smith really opened the door there. Of course, Smith getting a podium in race 1 at Suzuka. He drove absolutely superbly back then, and then he also got the pole position at Virginia as well. So strong driver is Fraser Smith, not the start that he would have wanted, but he's desperately trying to get past Adam Hadfield right now.
Yeah, Fraser Smith certainly full attack and full excitement. Always likes a bit of a scuffle, and really isn't that what touring car racing is all about? Craig Williams up in 13th as well. We saw a return to form for Craig as well last time out, and good to see him battling at the front. Jake Robertson there too for Apex Racing Team. Of course, whoop, we've got one of the full send cars off. That's Garcia. Oh, into the tyre wall. Kisses off 2 or 3 of the tyre walls and gets back going again. But maybe, of course, these cars have been pretty sensitive to damage over the last few weeks, Sam.
Well, thanks for bringing that up, actually. Oh, Flatten's got past Janssen. Oh, yeah, this is Janssen trying to attack Flatten, sorry. Oh, and he's got to be so careful from Leitner, who will happily stick a nose up the inside, because obviously that may help Harrison. Maybe they're not thinking like that exactly. I think Leitner might be thinking about its own race, but he certainly won't hold back. He's not in the championship hunt. Here again goes Janssen up the inside into turn 1. Not much defence put up there by Flatten. I thought he would stay right to the inside, and it's very tricky to recover once you're outside through 1. Then you're going to be outside the 2 and you've got to carry much more distance, and Janssen just moves him out of the way there. Maybe not quite hitching up the apex, and that's another position lost as well. Simmons now the next one to try to get past, but that was a good move there from Janssen. Had to work at it, but he's eventually got ahead as now Leitner makes a mistake and he actually drops 2 places. That's will be infuriating for Norbert. He worked so hard for that place, now he's given another one up.
Oh, that is the problem here with this type of layout here at Brands Hatch Indy. If you just make the slightest mistake, or if you go for a pass which doesn't come off, you can get what they call being freight trained, which is exactly what it sounds like. 4 or 5 cars just all of a sudden flow by, and whoa, a bit of contact there between Simmons and Flatten. And look at that, Norbert Leitner going straight to the inside, but Sedgwick, look at Jack Sedgwick, oh, big turn, bang! Goodness me, Leitner actually saved by the door of Terje Flatten there after a little nudge from Sedgwick, who drops back. They nudge again, 3 wide into Graham Hill Bend. This is ridiculous. Fantastic stuff. That's what touring car racing's all about.
And that was, Cedric really ambitious to make it 3 wide into the heaven, but he would have probably been saying, well, I'm alongside, so I'm allowed to have some space. But 3 into 1 doesn't really work at that corner. So, yes, like the game back ahead of that, and then Cedric will surely be passed soon. 2-time race winner. Of course, last time out was Cedric. Admittedly, had a poor race too, but I think still the second highest scorer from the evening. So once again, a job a little bit out of position at the moment, as Negi has got past Smith. He's been threatening at that one. As Officer goes Glasgow, that's a massive shame for Glasgow. Real nice start for Glasgow. He was up 5 places by lap 3, and he's given them all up. He's back to where he started, down in 28th place. So that's a huge shame for him. He was up into 2nd place out of the amateur drivers, I believe.
That is a pity. Whoa, and it looks like Bruno Bellny has had a problem. The Martinique driver. I feel it's just a tick now that we have to say that he's from Martinique. I think it's almost, it's the rules, basically.
Well, it's like, we've gone over this a few times, but it's like the flying fin, obviously.
Yeah,
that's
rally driver. Over
default commentator, and obviously, yeah, rally driver using his rally experience to control that slide. How many times have we heard that? Smith is not giving up on Negi, actually. I hear that a few more times tonight, because these two seem very evenly matched. Smith might have a chance to, the inside into the chicane doesn't really yield anything, because then you kind of just have the outside through a very, very long right-hander. And look at Marcel. Well, we can't see. Look at Marcel Toe. We're looking ahead now. We can see Marcel Tai just sitting behind. Greg Williams as well, who would have done, I'm sure, many a race around this circuit. And then Shurikov for Wild Animals. Of course, his teammate Zaitsev out of the race. But Shurikov not doing bad himself. He's up 2 places in 14th. As Cedric has had enough, but I don't think he's lost any places, Cedric.
No, he's extending track limits on the exit of Paddock Hill, which means a trip through the gravel. This is a proper race circuit with real boundaries.
Yes,
in other words, it's not Bahrain.
It's not Bahrain, yeah.
What a nonsense. Anyway, no, I'm not even going to go there. I'll get off 1-1, sorry.
I didn't mind it too much. I'd say if there's yeah, we'll see. Looks like a good season, no way. Anyone who has opinions on track limits in the chat, let us know.
I don't think Verstappen should have. Oh, here I go. It's too late. I don't think Verstappen should have had to give the spot back. He didn't. They did it voluntarily, did they not?
I think they knew that they were going to get the message.
I'd have chanced it and had argued it out in the stewards.
Oh, that's Smith pretty much net coding into the back of Negi there. They're almost merged in within one another for a second. Because both drivers based in the continent of Europe. And just great defense there from Negi. He's absolutely leaving nothing on the inside. Well, this is going to be a long 12 minutes, but only 8 minutes into this race. We've got 12 more minutes to go, and look at the queue of cars. Negi's going to be in for a tough time if he's going to be continue to defend like this. These guys cannot continue like this for another 12 minutes. It's going to come to blows eventually, although that's a mistake from Smith. But if Ty can get in the middle of these guys, then it might just start to clean up a little bit. Ty is going to be done though by Craig Williams. Brilliant move there from Williams to go around the outside. Can he keep part of his car alongside? He's just had to back out, but a slightly short run into Graham Hill bend, and he is moving ahead. Great work as Ascher has had an off. I think that was all by himself.
Oh, well, he's having to agonisingly wait and just tiptoe his way back onto the circuit there as well. I wonder if it maybe was by himself, but we'll try and find out for you folks. Now, Craig Williams is dropping. He's being freight trained now, and it looked like just a small mistake from Williams there, and 4 or 5 cars there just coming through and mugging him all one by one. He's got no change left in his pocket. They've all stolen it. So in the AM class battle, we have Mark Woodhouse leading once more in 16th position now overall. Next along is Ben Gregory, Adam Bath and Andrew Woodhouse next along in the AM class, signified by their blue number beside their name and their position on track.
Bath Jansen's doing well, isn't he? Keeping up with Gregory, who is Gregory, of course, was runner-up last season. Really lost out in a narrow fight for the amateur championship, and absolutely. I mean, sometimes we have drivers who are like, I don't really care about the championship. You know, just take it race by race. I'm just, you know, turning up here to have some good racing. Ben is fully concentrated on winning that title, and so he should be, because he's got a fantastic chance, and it would be a big deal if he could finally clinch it over the course of 16 meetings. Williams, well, he's absolutely had to barge his way through there. He's got Edmund. I think just defending upon, or maybe just overtaking. Here comes Woodhouse as well. He was getting held up a little bit behind these guys. Only got two cars between him and Gregory. He'd like to extend that a little bit, but of course there is a reverse grid after this one. It's a fairly big reverse grid for race 2. It's a 29 car reverse grid, so every position you gain around this area, you're going to start one position lower for the next race. I mean, I'd still recommend gain as many places as you can, because you don't know what's going to happen in race 2. Maybe starting further up may turn out to be a curse, but still, that's maybe a little bit of a factor to think about, as Negi is still having to defend against Smith, and after pulling away these two, they've continued to defend from one another, so this train is growing again.
Indeed, and there's a big gap up to Adam Hadfield. Really big gap up to Hadfield in 9. So Negi very much the cork in the bottle here. Well, not often you'll hear us say that about a real-world touring car driver, but there you go. That's how competitive the Apex Racing League Touring Car Championship is. But Negi doing a brilliant job here to keep Fraser Smith at bay, and also the cast of assassins who are piling up behind him. And Negi just, nearly leaves the door open enough. And if you leave the door even slightly ajar, Fraser Smith will always have a go. And he's compromised his exit, and Ty goes past into Druids, and so does Shirokov get through as well? Maybe not quite. No, Fraser Smith takes the line back, and now Cooper goes up Shirokov. It just shows you, Sam, that if you're going to make a move, you've got to be sure you're going to pull it off.
Yeah, Cooper's got a bit of a nap exit though from that one. Actually, Williams is going to try to reclaim one of the positions that he lost a couple of laps ago. That's wide though from Shirokov. Oh, that's I mean, he was under pressure, but that's a bit of a, say, forced error from him right there. It's getting the outside line though. You can almost always pick up the dots a bit earlier on the outside. I can't help but feel he's probably going to lose out though down the hill. And that is Cooper just moving ahead once again. Williams trying to, well, Williams is the one who's making contact with everyone at the moment. I don't think it's necessarily his fault, but he's just having to make the moves right now. And that is always a risk of contact, and he does make up the place on Shirokov. Good job there. So we have a tune in on our leader, by the way. That is the best battle going on out on site, hence why we've paid so much attention to it. But these top guys are fairly close as well. Harrison, 0.8 of a second clear of Savidovic, who's still got a little bit off the draft, but is struggling to really make much of an impression. Bokler in 3rd position, and Janssen looking quick. You know, Janssen doesn't usually qualify particularly well, Peter, but in these race ones, he's so good at getting from 5th on the grid to maybe 1st, where he's got up to 4th, which I think is an achievement in itself, to be honest. And he is looking very quick, which maybe gives him hope for race 2 and race 3, but he can't really do much with this pace at the moment.
Oh, you're absolutely right. He's certainly a racer, isn't he? Like you say, he always goes forward in the races. Sometimes difficult to get that one lap in qualifying, but if it was MotoGP or Formula 1, he'd be a Sunday man, as they say. Just brings it up in the race. And of course, Carl has a very much a connoisseur's choice of hot hatch. He drives a Hyundai i30N, which, according to all the car mags, is a bit of a gem, apparently.
We need to check that one out, as here comes Janssen up the inside. Oh, lovely move. A little bit cautious there from Bokler. Can't make. I thought he'd defend that a bit more. I think that is very sensible though from Roman. I think it shows. I don't know. Maybe I'm pushing a point here, which isn't really there. But that was very sensible. Is basically what I'm saying, and I can see him Kind of think about the percentages right there. And next up, Jansen is Savidovic. And if he could clear Savidovic, well, maybe we could have a fight between first and third in the championship in the closing stage. He's got to get on with it, as you can just see in the foreground there. It's a little bit of lap traffic. I didn't think it would be much of a thing, Peter, but you said that it would be. And, well, it seems like you were right.
Well, there you go. Clip that one, Sam Fitzpatrick admitting someone else is right. There you go. That's a collector's item. No, I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding. Well, this could throw the spanner in the works that Carl Jansen's looking for, and for that matter, what Scarlett. I can tell you, this is not what Kieran Harrison wants. So there'll be big bit of mistake there for Scarlett. Jansen gets a run. He's on the outside. That's going to be a long way around there. Scarlett knows it. He hugs the inside line as they sweep round Clark's and then back onto the power again. But look at Jansen just on the power that little bit earlier. But again, Scarlett knows if he hugs the inside, it's so tight here at Brands Hatch Indy that you can do that. But they're going side by side into Paddock Hill. Jansen is in a very sketchy position indeed. Good racecraft there from Scarlett. Just makes it very difficult for Jansen to pick up the throttle as well. Again, guarding the inside. And whoa, he gets dumped. Oh my word. Oh, well, as they say in stock car racing, I got dumped. And that, unfortunately, is the fate of Wartrick Scarlett there.
Yeah, well.
Be careful about that.
Well, we'll see what stewards think about that one. Could have been netcode. And Kyle located in the mystical land that is Sweden. I don't know. That looked like, yeah, that was just Jansen. He has got a couple of penalties already so far this season, and he does not want a pit lane start if he can possibly help it. He is up into second place, however, and that won't change. He might get some penalty points, might get a pit lane start, but that second place will be to stay, as Ward just lets these guys go on the inside. So, well, yeah, Jansen, if you gave him that second place at the start of the race, he'd probably take it. But, yeah, quite controversial. Bad news for Svidovic. Fortunately, of course, Negi has been holding up the field so much. Or not holding up, he's not slow as Negi, but he's just been defending a lot. So it's built up quite a gap. So Svidovic was able to slot in nicely in 9th place.
Marco Barbanera has come out with the most solid gold comment of the night so far, saying that Woodhouse and Woodhouse, they're not insurance brokers, they're architects. That's a good one, I like that. Very good, bravo Marco, bravo. Very good. Now, tell me about the damage, Sam, because you mentioned quite rightly there that Roman Bolter was maybe being a bit more cautious than you might normally expect him, but these cars have seemed incredibly fragile over the last couple of weeks.
And you teed this one up for me earlier on, but I swung and missed. I might swing and miss again because we've got a good battle on, but I will try to get the points. So in the last few days, iRacing did make a change where the wheels are a bit more firm. They won't break as easily. So before, the wheels would just like fold onto the car if a butterfly hit them, whereas now they're a bit more firm. So the damage that we've been seeing, particularly at Suzuka, should be a lot better now. And apparently there's been some good changes as well to the bumper since week 13. So I think the damage model is pretty much as good as it's ever been on this car. So good work from iRacing on that front. So yeah, I think the judges are a bit more positive about that. Of course, still room for improvement. But yeah, that particular fragility that we saw at Suzuka should be addressed.
Whoa, Daniel Nagy going very defensive there, swooping and swerving on his way up into Druids, but just about hanging on there. Marcel Tai looking very racy here as well. A little bit of a nudge there to the back of Nagy. That he'll be thinking, oh, okay, that's a bit impolite, okay. Well, I tell you what, if they build them even half as tough as the Mazda MX-5, we'll be able to look forward to some real argy-bargy.
Yeah, we've had, these cars are absolutely immense, aren't they, on iRacing, as looks like Smith is going to lose out potentially to Hadfield. Good, apologies, not Hadfield, Cooper. Same livery. 5-star pace sport, of course, those two teams. Oh, good driving there from Smith just to open up the steering. Smith has been very good in this by always leaving his rival a little bit of room. And here comes Williams, who has been mired in this battle for the whole race, and in fact tyres burn a little bit wide there, and Williams might be up a couple of places in quick succession. certainly Cooper getting clear. Now Williams is clear. So awesome drive here from Cooper and Williams to make their way up through the order, and Tyre's having to pay attention to the cars behind them.
That he is, yeah, and you can see our AM class leader as well there, Mark Woodhouse, getting a big old hip check there with Jake Robertson in the 116 car for Apex Racing team, with Hub Etterman just ahead of him. But a little bit, a decent gap it appears back to Ben Gregory. Well, decent-ish as we head on to the final lap. Now, where is our leader on? He is coming onto the Cooper Straight now. Is Kieran Harrison coming into the final portion of the lap at Surtees and into the Clark Curve. We can see from our you think is he psychic? No, he's got an SDK Gaming overlay, and our leader Kieran Harrison coming up onto the banking, round clearways and over the line to win race 1 here at Brands Hatch. A beautiful drive from Kieran Harrison, leading Carl Janssen by a fairly chunky margins I didn't actually think we'd see today, Sam.
Remember, I did pick him down to the winner. It can take absolutely no credit
I'll
for
let
that
you
one.
go
He
first.
was from pole position. He is the championship leader, and he is the car number 1. So Harrison, no surprise at all with that win, and absolutely classic Harrison. Barely makes a mistake all season long. Ooh, that was close, wasn't it? That was Garcia versus Glasgow going for a reverse grid pole. No, is it a reverse grid pole? No, it's 29 reverse. So it was actually be Billingsley who will be starting from pole if he chooses to start. Oh, Marcel Fitch. Oh, I feel bad for Fitch, because I'm not sure if Billingsley will take the start. I think in the past when he's been up on the grid, he may have just started from the pits just to let the others get on with it. So I feel bad for Marcel, because if he starts from the pole, then he would have a good chance, as I think we've had the results for race 1.
Yep, let's have a look at our results then of how they finished here in race number 1 in the Apex Racing League Touring Car Championship from Brands Hatch. Kieran Harrison, your winner then by 2 seconds from Carl Janssen. I'm very much a return to form for the Super Swede. Roman Bokler rounded out the podium in the 122 HM Engineering machine. George Simmons was 4th, followed by Norbert Leitner, Terry Flatten, Jack Sedgwick, Adam Hadfield, Wojciech Suridovic and Daniel Nagy, holding off that melee of drivers behind him. Jason Cooper was 11th, followed by Craig Williams, Marcel Tai, Fraser Smith, Igor Shirokov, Hub Etterman and Jake Robertson. And your AM class winner, Mark Woodhouse, once again extending his lead at the top of the AM Championship. In 19th was Ben Gregory, and 2nd in class, followed by Oyston Hereford, Corentin Guinez, Adam Bath, Oliver Ackerman, Martin Ashert, Tim Perry, Mikael Garcia, Sergei Glazkov, Andrew Woodhouse, John Billingsley and Marcel Fritsch rounds out your top 30. And the last few runners, Arjen Bakker, Bruno Belny from Martinique, Jack Tingy, Martin Shirley, Toby Ward, Vasily Zaitsev, Baron Glover and Andrew Brema rounds out your 38 strong field here at Brands Hatch. Well, we will be straight into race number 2, another 20-minute race. We have 3 races in this meeting. And well, it's this is going to be a whole different ball game for our winners in race 1, Sam, because of course now they're going to make their way through the pack.
Absolutely, it's going to be tricky from that far back. So really, anyone's game, I think. And just looking at the grid, there's not really many drivers out of position. Maybe Garcia, a pro driver, out of position a little bit. Corentin Guinez, actually, of course, starting up in 9th place, so he could be a danger. But just before we go to the race, we will give a shout out to one of our sponsors, Apex Racing Academy, for their support of Apex Racing TV. And we are just going to show you a little bit of a trailer to see what Apex Racing Academy offers. And once we show that, we'll be back with you very quickly. So yeah, see you back on Apex Racing TV in just a moment.
Welcome back to Brands Hatch, and as you can see, our Apex Racing League Touring Car Championship contenders are lining up along the front straight here at Brands Hatch, ready for the second of 3 20-minute sprint races this evening. Now, this should get going pretty quickly. Our drivers are always keen after a little break to get back going again. Got one of the AlphaTauri touring cars on the front row of the grid there, and now, is that Andrew Woodhouse or is that Adam Bath? I cannot see the number. It's Andrew Woodhouse. Ooh, a big opportunity for Woody, Sam.
And Billingsley has taken the grid, so all front row. Yeah, watch this space. This will be an exciting start, and watch out from Guinness, starting from 9th position. My favourite for this race.
Well, you've heard it there. Sam is certainly 1 for 1 on the picks so far tonight. I am 0 from 0, but the lights are now being illuminated. We are almost ready to go, and out they go. We're racing once more here at Brands Hatch in the Kent countryside. It's a decent start from... Oh, no, it's not. John Billingsley's got a horrible start, actually. My apologies. And Glasgow has got a bullet, but Andrew Woodhouse going around the outside. Goodness me, Garcia in there as well, but it looks like, whoa, it's just going to be Glasgow, but big tap there for Andrew Woodhouse, just hangs on to it, but after all that, Glasgow just going to get out there in front. Oh, Woodhouse nails Billingsley out the way. He says, I'm wanting another bit of the bubbly out of my way.
I'm calling the insurance scandal already. That's a big one. Garcia is up into 3rd. And that's a good start for him, but only up 1 place to be fair, as Glasgow starts to build up a gap. Remember, Glasgow was up in the top 20 for briefly in race 1. He is quick, is Glasgow, so he needs to make a gap right away, but Woodhouse was fairly quick in race 1 as well. As look at Garcia trying to get past. Woody will fight this one for all that he's worth. He's not got to play the percentages. He may as well go for the big results if he could possibly get it, and he is going defensive, but here comes Garcia round the outside through Paddock Hill, and he does pull ahead. That was very nicely done there, and Woodhouse drops down into 3rd position. Guinness up into 5th position then, so it's a fairly good start for Guinness, as yeah, it's all going on. Bath was going for a move, and Aschert, I think he's pulled that one up. He's up into 6th place.
Goodness me, you can see there's 3 wide sandwiches going into Surtees and Clark Curvin. Oh, we've got one of the AlphaTauri touring cars off. Is it Adam Bath or is it Andrew Woodhouse? It's Andrew Woodhouse, and we've got a car park at Clark Curve, and massive incident, wheels coming off. Got one of the HM Engineering cars off there as well. That's the number 122 of Roman Bogler. He is done. That car is trashed. And Daniel Nagy, the 199, is out. Martin Aschert is out. Goodness me, we've got a boneyard in pit lane. Now, what happened to Woody up front? He's already off into the sand pit, but there's a bigger accident further back, and Woody. Oh my. Oh, bang.
He must have lost control of the car coming back onto the circuit, and then into the other drivers, and then, yeah, it's pretty close proximity when you're in like that. Once again, iRacing damage model, absolutely superb. That was spectacular, wasn't it? I thought that looked awesome. So I had fun, even if the drivers and their health did not. Meanwhile, going wide was Gregory. That's quite a big. That's a big mistake. That's a huge mistake with Gregory. He's let past Woodhouse, who is his championship rival. He's trying to come back against Williams. Oh, very slow on the inside. That's Ty. That is Ty who's had a problem. That's a shame for. No, was it Ty?
Yes.
Not sure. Oh, maybe it was. Yes. There you go.
Yes, it was.
I don't know what happened. Ty.
He's made a pretty good start actually as well. He would have started much further back than Marcel Ty, up to about the position he was in race 1, but of course would have started around the back end of the top 20. So, goodness me, what an explosive start here at Brands Hatch. And well, I tell you what, go and buy a lottery ticket, Sam, because look at Guinness. He's already straight up there, half a second quicker than our leader in Glasgow. He is on the charge as the fast Frenchman. Look at him, look at that, straight up the inside, and Garcia's just like, oh, after you, sir.
Yep, this should be 4 minutes into the race. He's already up into 2nd place. I feel like he's done this a couple of times as Guinness, where he often has a bad race 1 and puts him in a good place for race 2. and he will soon be past Glasgow. I would have thought, who I think, of course, up in 3rd place in the championship, I think is Glasgow. Was it the Glasgow? Maybe it wasn't. Oh no, he's doing well in the apps, is Glasgow, so he wants to score some good points. So I don't think we'll risk a crash. Hadfield, meanwhile, he was driving very well in race 1. He is up 7 places from his starts in this race too. And actually, we also got Janssen. Well, Janssen's right on these guys, and then you got Harrison as well. So Janssen tries to put a few cars between him and the championship leader, and already Janssen's passed, and that's experience there from Hadfield, one of the most experienced drivers out on the track, knowing that Janssen could be a little bit of a snow plough, shall we say, on the drivers ahead. Best to release that missile to cause some destruction further ahead. I think that would be my motto.
Very subtle Swedish influence there. Not the missile, the snowplow. The snowplow.
Yeah.
Of course, they do need those up north. Was that accidental?
It was.
Oh, good.
It's
nice.
talent, I think it's what's called.
Yeah, it's ingrained. You can't get it out of your system. Yeah, but you're right though. Janssen is a hard charger, and again, true to form, he's making harder moves up ahead. He's surging ahead in this race too, whereas Harrison doing what he does best, just picking his way through gently and keeping that car on the straight and narrow. As whoa, Hoop Ederman goes off the track, but quite a lot of drivers using the exit there and going through the sandpit.
Yeah, you it seems to lose you too much time, does it? I don't think it's ideal, but you can gain a little bit more speed by doing that, picking up the throttle is so important in this car as well. Really quite a bit of damage actually on Cooper's car at the moment, as Guinness is up into the lead. And now this was just a matter of time, but well, not even 6 minutes into the race, 14 to go, and as long as Guinness doesn't make a mistake, he's got this one in the bag. I mean, there's no one who is faster than him all the way back to Janssen down in 14th, and even then I think Guinness would fancy his chances in that one-on-one fight. So Guinness started from the pits, I believe, in race 1, so that's why he finished quite so low down in race 1, but he's making up for it right now, and he's looking on course for another race 1.
Well, that is ominous, isn't it, to be this competitive after starting from pit lane in the first 20-minute race, and 6 minutes into the second race you're already in the front of the pack. So very ominous for Corentin Guinness's competitors, and just look how much time he's pulling out of Sergei Glaskov. Now, Sergei Glaskov, of course, is our AM class leader as well, but you look at even how much time Guinness is pulling out of Garcia, who is in the pro class, and well, this is going to be appears to be a bit of a demolition job in progress.
Yeah, this could be upwards of 6 or 7 seconds, I think, by the end, which is big. A bit like MotoGP, where if you can pull out like a 5-second lead, that's like huge. Yeah. And I mean, this is a much shorter race, but I think those scales kind of work fairly well on this series as much as MotoGP. Janssen then getting ahead of Hadfield right there. Apologies. Yeah, so he was getting past Cooper, was he? And then Cooper's also got past Hadfield. I think that's the story there. Of course, the two 5-star drivers now with one another. Hadfield looks a little bit quicker. They were evenly matched, to be fair, in race 1. But I think Hadfield's got a slightly cleaner car, so should have a better chance at the drivers ahead as they make that swap. And Hereford as well, battling Harrison. Runs wide does Hereford, and Harrison does move ahead, keeping Janssen inside his own pot. Doesn't want to let too many cars get between him and the Swede.
No, I think Harrison's just playing this one super clever, I would say. He's just picking the drivers off just almost as they make mistakes. If there isn't an easy move there, just waits his time, knows that he's got a lot of pace underneath that number 1 HM Engineering car, of course running the number 1 as our defending champion. And you know, now in the era of proper merchant drivers protecting their number as the sense of identity, it's nice to see the number 1 plate being honoured, funnily enough, unlike MotoGP.
Yeah, it's cool to have number 1. Good for the fans, I think, to kind of see that. Of course, Harrison, running that number 1 for the championship win last season. Dave Baker, who hasn't been around for the last few weeks, running the number 3 because he finished 3rd place in the championship, our runner-up from last season. Not attending for this championship. But also Dave, of course, ran the iconic number 6 for many seasons because in the last few seasons, at least, he's finished 6th in so many races. It's a remarkable thing that he finishes 6th so much. As Garcia has just got ahead of Glasgow for 2nd place, so good work there from Garcia to make up on that one. By the way, we've got so many retirees from this race. No fast repairs for these drivers, and so if you have a big wreck like we saw earlier on, that's it. And if you're 2 laps down, you don't score points. So pretty much once you have a big crash like that, you may as well sit out the rest of the race. So we've got everyone from 26th down to 37th out of the race. That's 12 cars out of the running. The reverse grid is 24. So basically penultimate position on circuit is going to get themselves a very nice reverse grid pole. And at the moment, that's Terje Flatson with Ward 5 seconds behind. So yeah, watch out for that one.
Yeah, look at the front of Terje Flatton's car though. It is pretty mangled. And that front bumper looks like it's trying to make a breakaway. He could maybe pop into pit lane and put a cable tie in it. Possibly. It is hanging on by a thread there. But like you say, Sam, in the perfect spot for a reverse grid pole position where he will of course have a fresh car to go and do battle there as well. I tell you what, I think the drivers who are out on circuit right now, as you see, take a pause there, is Kieran Harrison going up the inside at Graham Hill Bend, and gets the job done. Very, very nice. And yeah, I think the drivers who are out on circuit right now will be very glad of the high attrition rate and the number of cars that are currently parked in pit lane. It gives them a little bit more room to roam.
Yeah, you're absolutely right there, but well, these guys aren't giving each other too much room. We got, well, this is on board with Mark Woodhouse. He's got Gregory behind him, and then Ackerman and Etzelman battling. That's Ackerman on the inside. And 2 Pro drivers, of course. Woodhouse might be able to make this one do right, but thinking smartly there. Just waits behind. Very patient, just positioning his car in what should be the best place. No one wants to run on the outside, just want to take the inside where you can. So, yeah, there is a slide for the driver ahead. Just nip up the inside, and there he is once again, just aiming for the inside, once again aiming for the apexes wherever he can. Just behind was Savidovic getting, in fact Gregory's had a bit of a poor lap, so both Savidovic and Cedric have both got past Gregory, and yeah, there he is down into 10th position. He's got Craig Williams now just behind, and then Janssen as well. So Janssen and Harrison not making actually that many places up. I think they there was a bit of a divide in the field. The midfield kind of got held up in the first couple of laps, and they're kind of having to make up for that at the moment. Janssen is up 16 places to be fair, which isn't bad, but a few more might be in store.
Yeah, indeed. This is where you've got to be super, super careful because, as you can see, there's just cars everywhere, left, right, and centre, and it's so easy to just get caught in maybe someone else's incident or someone just runs wide and you can be the driver who comes off worst. But Janssen, the thing is, Kieran Harrison's in the lucky position where he doesn't need to take risks, and he's just behind the battle here. But Janssen does. He has to make up every single spot, and boom, there you go. A little bit of contact there with Ben Gregory, and has to carry on. And just about. Now, last week, that would have probably caused a wheel to fly off, Sam.
Yeah. Oh, there's Najee. He's laps down, is Daniel. Yeah, he's 12 laps down. I'd park it. You're not getting any valuable practice driving a mangled car like that around. So I'm just confirming that position on Gregory. Gregory fighting him hard. Gregory not quite with the pace tonight. I often see him battling for the top 10s in qualifying in race 1, just outside the top 20. Because certainly the momentum swinging towards Mark Woodhouse. But we've got 7 more minutes in this race, and Woodhouse has got some exceptionally quick drivers right behind him, so he needs to be careful about this one. Etterman pulling away from Ackerman at the moment, and Woodhouse now is trying to get past Ackerman as they head into turn 1. Good space being left by the T3 Motorsports driver. I think that space is going to allow Woodhouse to do as Cedric goes on a move on Savidovic there. What a move that is from Cedric.
Yeah, Cedric definitely in the mood tonight to make up some points. Of course, Cedric's still got an outside hope of the championship, and Carl Janssen way too far on the outside of Graham Hill. Then there onto the grass, looked like he just got run out there. And Kieran Harrison up ahead now into 13th position, one ahead of Janssen. Be interesting to have another look at that if we can to see if there was any contact between Janssen and any other driver. And so here's Craig Williams onto the grass. And what happens here? Janssen kind of loses it on the way in, on the brakes on the grass, and kind of slides through and clips the back of Williams there. So yeah, there you go. Whoa, bit of contact there between Janssen and Harrison. Oh, here we go. Throw the grenade in. It's about to explode.
Oh, come on, Carl. We're the best things about being a commentator is the fact that you literally have no allegiances to anyone. Even if you know some of the drivers on a personal level, you don't root for them. You want to see a good championship. At the moment, Hanson's got a few points to make up, so it'd be quite nice right here if he could get past Harrison, and preferably in a very nice manner. Gregory is holding these guys up. It's all going on. This is really the crescendo of the race, warming up at the moment. It's got a bit defensive. Yes, I mean, Harrison's got to go for this move, otherwise Janssen will just go for it. Here he goes around the outside. Will do well to get this one a little bit of a slide. I think that really was a particularly good run there for Janssen. And this is just going to hold them up. This is going to stop them from getting placed because Harrison's going to defend rather than actually attack Gregory. So they're kind of hurting each other at the moment, but they don't really care about that. They just want to get ahead of one another. Here comes Janssen, and Harrison has to leave the room. He's off the circuit. Here comes Janssen down the inside, and that should be the move complete. That was good work there from Janssen. Almost scared Harrison off the racing line.
Yeah, that was interesting because Harrison there coming around Druid's hairpin just got a little bit boxed in with Gregory in front, and that kind of just compromised his run a little bit. But I wonder if Harrison will kind of retaliate here. Yeah, looks like he will. Because does he need the points? Does he need those extra couple of points at risk of losing them all in this race? Maybe he could just sit and fall, and that's maybe a way to get into Janssen's head a little bit, knowing you can sit on his bumper, letting him finish ahead, but going, I don't need to because I'm miles ahead of you. I wonder what's going through Kieran Harrison's head right now.
Yeah, perhaps so. Only 1 point difference there. Well, 2 points because they switched positions. I wonder if Janssen might be able to get past Gregory and put a car between them. Meanwhile, so Woodhouse driven very well. Woodhouse driven really well, hasn't he? Mark Woodhouse up in 6th place. He hasn't quite. He's got a bit of a gap at the moment, hasn't he? Bad news for who was it? Who was jumping down? Just a moment. Ackerman. Sorry, Ackerman's still doing pretty well too. Very nice. But sorry, I'm muddling over my words. But Woodhouse managed to get past Ackerman, pull a little bit of a gap on Cedric. But that cap coming down. Here comes Savinovich as well in 8th position, looking strong. Williams trying to attack Ackerman. He's falling down the order a little bit at the moment. And they got Marcel Ty. He's had one of his best meetings of the season so far, running up in 11th position in this race too. But this Ackerman won the closest battle currently going on out on circuit. Not quite close enough there for Williams.
No, not quite close enough. So, just heading into the final stages of this second race here at Brands Hatch. We have one more to go. And Sam, what is our reverse grid for race number 3?
It's 24.
Yes, just as I asked the question, I remembered the answer. Sorry, I apologise. 24, so pretty much whoever's running left gets a reverse grid pole, almost, as well. So that's going to be interesting. That's going to put Kieran Harrison and Janssen sort of mid-pack where they are right now. It's going to put Guinness all the way back in 24th, so we'll see what he can do, because clearly he's got some hot pace.
Yeah, I'm looking across that one. Zaitsev as well, starting fairly high up. Zaitsev, Hadfield, Cooper, all driving really well tonight, so they could be dangerous. Yeah, I think Janssen and Harrison would have to be favourites for that one. Gregory, just putting the car in the middle of the circuit. Ackerman, come on mate, come back in. There he is, 11, it's alright. He is behind Ty now, though. So, yeah, he lost out to Williams and Ty. I feel like he might lose a couple more. I've only got a lap and a half to go of this race. But actually, we've got 2.5 more laps to go. Good pace being set by Guinness. And, yeah, still got this one and then 2 more to complete the race. There is Guinness. He might be the one that forced us onto an extra lap. So still plenty of time for change here as, yeah, I think Janssen might be getting past Gregory down into turn 1 any moment now.
Well, it will be the white flag being prepared for Corentin Guinez when he comes around Clark Curve. The white flag will be there to signify 1 lap left for him. These drivers have got the best part of 2 to go, and Janssen having to go around Gregory here as well, but Gregory shuts the door, but he leaves just a tiny bit of it open, and Janssen will need no second invitation indeed. Barges Gregory out to the side, and look at Harrison. Harrison's got the run now. Now, is he going to be able to mug Gregory as well? Janssen gets another bit of contact with Gregory. Tell you what, Janssen's going to be getting very close to that 16 incident point limit. For every piece of heavy contact, you get 4 incident points, and I tell you what, Sam, you can't be far off from that.
I am an admin, I should be able to see this, but there's too much going on. I'm trying to commentate as well.
True.
Cedric's ahead. Up into 6th, he's got past Woodhouse. Woodhouse couldn't survive to the end. He was eventually caught. Bath doing well in 18th. Oh, that's close, isn't it? What else is going on? This battle's fairly close. Hereford's going to get overtaken here by Fritsch. He's trying to recover after near getting reverse grid pole for race 2. Out in the lead, it's all Corentin Guinness.
Here he is, yep, Corentin Guinez for HM Engineering. Makes it double delight for the HM Engineering squad here at Brands Hatch. An absolutely dominant win for the French star. Comes over the line, we wait for the others. Mikel Garcia in a strong second spot, Glasgow third, and your first driver in AM. So an overall podium for Glasgow in the AM class, with Tim Perry not far behind at all. Great job by those AMs.
Yeah, that's really good job there from Glasgow. He's improved a lot. So he actually, that's a little bit of a, that's Williams and Janssen hitting each other post-race. Glasgow's really driven very well, because I remember contests in the Euro V8 Supercar Series that he was active in, and was very solid in that one in the amateur category. Certainly carried over that driving into the ARLTC as well as the session advances. We're in a 5-minute warm-up session, but I think before that we can go look at the race results.
Indeed we shall then. Corentin Guinez winning by, scarcely believable, 7.3 seconds from Mikel Garcia. Sergei Glasgow finishing just behind in a very impressive third and top of the AM class. Tim Perry was 4th, just 0.3 behind his rival Glasgow. Hub Etterman was 5th, followed by Jack Cedric, Wojciech Sawidovic, Mark Woodhouse, Craig Williams and Marcel Ty rounding out the top 10. Oliver Ackerman was 11th, with Carl Janssen pushing his way through to 12th spot ahead of Ben Gregory and championship leader Kieran Harrison. Jason Cooper was 15th, followed by Adam Hadfield, Vasily Zaitsev, Adam Bath, Oyston Hereford and Marcel Fritsch rounding out your top 20. Baron Glover was 21st, followed by Bruno Belny from Martinique, with Terry Flatman 23rd. 24th was Arjen Bakker, who gets our reverse grid pole position. Your drivers off the lead lap: Toby Ward, Igor Shirokov, Fraser Smith, Norbert Leitner, Roman Bokler, Jack Tingy, Daniel Neji, George Simmons, Jake Robertson, Martin Shirley, Martin Asher, Andrew Woodhouse, John Billingsley and Andrew Brema. Tell you what, Sam, there are some big heavy hitting names that were off the lead lap and not catching reverse grid pole either.
Yeah, that was that was a huge incident, wasn't it? One of the biggest crashes we've seen all season long, going onto the pit straight. It really took many drivers out of the action. It should mean that we have quite a mixed up grid for race 3 if the reverse grid didn't already guarantee that. Another one of our sponsors for this series and for Apex Racing TV is Virtual Racing School. Yeah, they help support us on Apex Racing too. So we're also going to show you a little bit of a trailer for Virtual Racing School as well, whilst we have this 5-minute warm-up session, and you can see what VRS is all about. So we'll be back with you very soon on Apex Racing TV.
Virtual Racing School was developed to provide support to the next generation of sim racers. No matter if you're a rookie or veteran or what car or track you'll be racing, our goal is to provide training every step of the way. We found that iRacing can be quite difficult without proper training. There needed to be a way to prepare for on-track racing. With VRS, you can literally learn from the best sim racers in the world, including 4-time NASCAR iRacing World Champion Ray Alfala.
And Ray Alfala is a 4-time champion of the NASCAR Peak Antifreeze iRacing Series.
3-time iRacing Grand Prix World Champion Martin Kroenke.
Martin Kroenke becomes a 3-time world champion.
Rallycross World Champion Mitchell de Jong.
Mitchell de Jong is now champion for the iRacing Rallycross World Championship Series.
And many other top sim racers. Data packs include everything you need to start learning. Our World Championship coaches create the data packs by setting a hot lap or a series of fast laps for you to compare, analyze, and replicate. Data packs also include a tutorial where the coach points out techniques they use to hit the fast lap. This gives you access to the latest driving techniques and setups before you even hit the track. Sign up for a free account and download the VRS telemetry logger. With this application running seamlessly in the background, your laps automatically start syncing to the VRS website. From there, you can analyze and compare 2 laps of your choice, whether it's your data, the coaches, or your teammates. VRS will automatically target improvement opportunities so you can get up to speed even faster. VRS also makes it easy for you to request and schedule one-on-one or group coaching sessions. These sessions can range from 30 to 90 minutes, and you can select the car, track, and setup combination of your choice. Visit virtualracingschool.com today to sign up and get started.
Welcome back to Apex Racing TV, where we are preparing for the 3rd and final race here at Brands Hatch, India. It's been a dramatic meeting so far, no more so than in that 2nd race where there was a very high rate of attrition and a lot of top drivers having to start deep in the pack for this 3rd race. But let's see how they'll start for the final race of the evening. Arjen Bakker and Terje Flatten are your front row, with Bruno Belny from Martinique starting 3rd, with Baron Glover in 4th. Marshall Fritsch and Oysten Herford will start on the 3rd row, followed by Adam Barth, Vasily Zaitsev, Adam Hadfield and Jason Cooper, rounding out the top 10. Starting on the 6th row of the grid is Kieran Harrison and Ben Gregory. In 13th will be Carl Janssen alongside Oliver Ackerman. Row 8 is Marcel Tai and Craig Williams. Mark Woodhouse, Wojciech Suridovic, Jack Cedric and Hub Etterman round out your top 20, with Tim Perry and Sergei Glazkov on row 11. Row 12 sees Mikel Garcia and your race 2 winner, Corentin Guinez. Row 13 is Toby Ward and Irgur Shirikov, followed by Fraser Smith, Norbert Leitner, and all the rest of the gang of protagonists here in the Apex Racing League Touring Car Championship. Out the lights go, and we are off for the final time here in the Kent countryside. It's a very good start indeed from Terje Flatten from second on the grid, and he charges into the lead. What a start for the Norwegian.
Yeah, he was absolutely gone off the start. Wasn't a strong start for Bakker. Oh, it's getting messy into turn 2. Most of the drivers getting through it all right, and then we got Shirikov, who I thought might have a good chance at a decent result there, having problems further down. There's an Apex car, I think, off the circuit, one of the HM Engineering cars, almost hitting him. Paused up Cooper as well, who starts in a very good place. So lots of drivers sliding off. So, Guinez as well had a problem. Winner, of course, from race 2. And we've got more spinners. Zaitsev, again, really thought yeah, I thought it was, maybe I was getting confused between him and Shurikov before. I thought Zaitsev might have a good chance, but he's down to 12th place, just sliding away right there. But Savidovic has had to tow back to the pits, and so too has Leitner. So 2 heavy hitters crashing into one another on lap 1, and that ends what was turning out to be a very good day for Wojciech Savidovic.
Oh
huge
dear, on
crash.
Sedgwick off as well with Hub Etterman. And oh well, Etterman's wheel has come off the Hub.
We've seen some, sorry, I didn't actually hear that one. I don't want you to repeat it, don't repeat it.
No.
Okay, there.
It's going to sound even worse than it already was.
I think, yeah, I think it's best to leave.
You can watch it back if you really want.
Oh, Gregory. And
Oh no!
Hadfield.
Oh, he's coming back
Gregory,
on the track!
no,
Bang!
no.
Oh no!
Don't do that.
Oh, Jake Robertson's had a crash, but don't worry, he's used to that. He's a rallycross driver.
Shirley's had a problem as well. Yeah, and Robertson, like you said. What if you get a replay of that one, actually, because that was bizarre why Gregory tried to rejoin the second. I'm sure there was something going on because an experienced driver like Ben Gregory, I imagine, had a bit of an issue here. So here was, I think this is with Ty. See plenty of Marcel Ty, who apparently may be pronounced as Marcel T. If someone on the YouTube chat could clarify that one. That was Cooper, I think. He made contact with, and then Gregory just couldn't. He just couldn't keep control of it, could he? And then he collides with the 118 of Robertson. So we've already got 9 retirements then of this race. I mean, Sedgwick, Ackerman, Hadfield, Shirley, Robertson, and Gregory joining those who are already out of the race. It's Harrison and Janssen up into 4th and 5th. They're battling with Bath and Backer, for the podium.
Wow, what a start for the 2 championship protagonists. Really good to see Carl Janssen back in the fight after a couple of really difficult rounds, but really on the charge. And Adam Bath has got his mirrors full of Harrison and Janssen, and Harrison goes by with relative ease, but is Bath going to let Janssen have it? Oh, he's going to have it given away for him. Oh my word. Good hold there from Adam Bath. A big nerf from behind, putting him at a 45-degree angle, gives it a bootload of throttle. Janssen gets through, but Adam Bath carries on. Good car control there.
Yeah, Bath slipping along there. Did you get that one?
That won't wash with me.
Oh, very clean. So he's lost the place to Fitch, and well, that's the least that Fitch deserves, because of course he did miss out on reverse grid pole in race 1 by 1 position. Highest gainer so far, Fraser Smith up 16 places into 11th. Oh, here comes Bath though. And the outside, great move there from Bath, who did out-qualify Fitch, I believe. So he might, this should be a close battle. Hereford won't be much faster than these guys. And then they got Marcel T, who I thought was out of the race, but Marcel T actually managed to survive that whole incident with Gregory and it was Gregory and Co. And actually is still running in 7th position. So this will be very tight. We don't know who you're going to pick for 4th position here. Top 3 seem to have got away, but Bath going really defensive, and it's remarkable just how quickly the train grows. One moment there's just 2 of them, and then the next moment you got almost half the runners behind the Alpha touring car driver. Back her off.
Oh yeah, you got to be so careful, especially if you're in the AM class as well, because you might be like Adam Bath there as well. Oh, was battling with Marcel Fritsch. Well, that is just taking the words out of my mouth there almost, because as a review, you've got to be so careful when you're in the AM class battle and you're mixing it up with the pros. If you make the slightest error, you will just get freight trained, and that's exactly what's happened to Marcel Fritsch. He's lost 3 spots, just boom, just like that. And Adam Bath looking in his mirror saying, oh yes, there's 3 pro class cars in between, 4 in fact, between him, sorry, 3, I was right the first time, between him and Marcel Fritsch, which is the rival he's got to worry about going for this AM class race victory. But Mark Woodhouse now up to 9th overall and 3rd in the AM class, and he's got to be the danger man now, surely, Sam.
Yeah, Woodhouse has been absolutely rapid tonight. He's been rapid for a couple of months already, but particularly tonight, He's been on good form. And Fraser Smith as well, of course, extremely fast driver. And Williams as well. Gasly is not slow. So Smith and Williams will probably append to this back of this train. Slow lap there for, or a couple of slow laps actually recently for Fitch, of course, losing those positions in 8th place. Also, quick shout out to SDK Gaming, the providers of our overlay that you can see up on screen. Really does give you all the information you could possibly want about the race. So it's fantastic for us at Apex Racing TV to use it as our overlay, and also fantastic for you to use as a heads-up display for when you're racing, of course, as well as streaming as well is fantastic. So certainly do check out sdk-gaming.co.uk for more information on how to get SDK Gaming on your PC. That was Simmons ahead of Negi. So it's not Negi, is it? It's Naji. Apologies. Yeah, Simmons, a bit of a quiet day. Second place in the championship, of course, is Simmons, but didn't have a very good race too. So this could well be one of his top scores, as Daniel going very defensive here against Roman Bokler.
Oh yeah, Najee just edging out Bokler there in the number 122 HM Engineering car. Poor old Roman's been a little bit nudged about here in this race, but maybe playing a strategy of consistency perhaps, and keeping the car out of trouble. Now, as you can see by our SDK Gaming graphic on the top right hand side of your screen, you can see that our track map, that our leader Terry Flatten is absolutely, well, he's on a time trial right now. His times have been absolutely superb, purple time after purple time, and Harrison and Janssen are not picking up any time on him at all. They're kind of more consumed in their own battle for second, but goodness me, it's getting busy here. Marcel T, well, is it going to be tea time? And oh dear, we see Hereford going up there as well. Oh, bang! Zaitsev hip check. Oh my word. Oof, that was frosty from the Norwegian.
Yeah, off into Siberia there for Zaitsev.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I'm clutching at straws right now.
Yeah, you're just rushing it.
Oh. Yeah. Sorry, guys.
Well, at least I get to laugh at what
Just having to stall in that one. That was taking to a new level. Zaitsev is going all out defense now against Cooper. He's just picking up the inside of Perry there. Of course, was up in 4th place. Oh, netcode. 2 Brits. Very odd, that one.
One
looked like netcode at least. Well, yeah. No, we don't have internet. There's and a good move actually there from Daniel to make up a place.
Well, they were just about coming up to half distance right now. So, can Terry Flatten be caught? I'm not so sure if he can. We did see Kieran Harrison putting in the fastest lap of the race last time around, a 48.3, about 0.2 of a second quicker than the kind of consistent race pace at the front. But I more think that Harrison's going to be worrying about Janssen, who's up his chuff, as we say here in the UK.
Yeah, and Janssen did manage to pull off that move in race 2. Oh, great run for Daniel there. He's got nowhere to go. He had to get out of the throttle, but he might go the long way around against Perry. Waiting for the hit on the side, but it never came, and he's passed. Might be able to go with Simmons here to go attack some drivers ahead. Bad news there actually for Perry, because he's going to lose out to Cooper as well, and then they got Bokler and Shurikov, two very quick drivers just behind. So he's going free changed, trained, as he hinted at earlier on. Smith has just moved up to 7th place, by the way. He's just got past, these guys actually aren't far ahead. There's kind of one pack almost. But yeah, Smith getting past Hereford right there. Williams will be next.
I love it how freight train is becoming a proper regular use in the commentary box. I love it. Well, apart from when we're in Japan, if we're at Okayama or Suzuka, you get Shinkansen.
What is that? Is that the
So
exact.
the Chinken is the bullet train.
Oh, okay.
I suppose it doesn't take freight. Now that I think about it.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
But people, I mean, that's freight for some criminal enterprises. Moving on, RLTC going around. Oh well, but one day under the new guidelines and we're done, Sam.
Yeah. Oh, you just reminded me. It's worse when you remind me.
Oh God, I'm
to be
nervous.
more careful. Bath holding on to 4th.
Yes,
But
touring cars.
he's got 8.5 minutes to hang on. It's a very, very good race. I really enjoyed the racing tonight. Even though we had so many drivers eliminated early on in both race 2 and 3, but the races have kind of felt quite long. I think it's just long for the drivers because Bath is. I don't know. I get to 8 minutes before, and we got drivers defending, and then there's a pack of like 10 cars behind them. Just thinking, this isn't going to end well for you, is it? Here comes Ty, carrying some good speed around the outside. Oh, he might have the inside line here for Graham Hill Bend. Really set this one up very nicely. Both leaving each other good room, and Bath's got a better exit. Here comes Woodhouse. Might try to make it 3 wide, but Bath's got a much better line into the chicane. He should be able to hang on for another lap. Smith going wide just in the background there. I don't know what Smith was playing at there. And he's going to lose a place. That was an error there from him. As, maybe Ty will be able to get past. He's got a better run coming on to the lap 16 of the race.
Well, this is not what Adam Bath needs. We talked about this earlier with the Pro Class drivers coming through, and that has really compromised Adam Bath's run. And look at Mark Woodhouse now, who's going for the AM Class win, but Adam Bath is thinking Pro Class, AM Class, I'll have you. And it's quite interesting if you get stuck on the outside line here at Graham Hill Bend. It's not a complete punishment exercise because you can hang it out there and hold the inside line for coming up to Surtees and Clark Curve. I tell you what, whoa, big slide there for Adam Bath, and oh dearie me, that's allowed Mark Woodhouse to get up the inside. He's got much better drive in that Team Mad Machine. They go side by side down towards Paddock Hill Bend. With goodness me, it feels like the last lap. We've still got 6.5 minutes to go, and Woodhouse goes through. Can Bath retaliate?
Good opportunistic driving from Woodhouse, and he defends well. I think once you get past, Bath, I don't think has quite enough speed to get back past. Oh, contact just behind between Hepburn and Smith. I think that was Hepburn got past Smith a couple of laps ago when Smith went AWOL for a corner. And now Smith is trying to cover that one. He'll be absolutely regretting that one because look at the gap that's formed just ahead of him. Can he get ahead? You always want to go for that move, but particularly in these touring cars, that tight line is the way to go, and there's often just absolutely no way through. But now dips into the draft once again. Oh, well, opening up the line. Surely Smith will just be able to go up the inside here. Here he goes. What's the Norwegian exactly playing on that one? Maybe just let's see his rival go, to be fair. Or is he going for the over-under? I think you're right, Peter. But it hasn't worked for him. And here comes Williams down the inside. Oh, bit of contact just behind. That was Smith, that was Garcia, sorry, going slow. Oh, there's massive hold up there. Oh. What's going on? Garcia was so slow, and now we've got 3 more cars involved. It's Nagy, Cooper, and Bokler. Nagy, sorry, not Nagy. What's his name?
Nagy,
it's Nagy.
Yeah.
I wonder if you get a replay of that one because I do not know what was going on with a couple of those drivers.
Okay, so Mikel Garcia in there as well. Craig Williams heading through, looking a bit at the background, really. But does it all start with these guys? Not really. Oh, I think we're on a different lap. The thing is, it's so hard to pick it out here. Here we go. Yeah, here we go. Mikel Garcia gets run a little bit wide, loses his entry speed, and actually becomes a little bit of a rolling roadblock there. And Nishi actually gets completely caught out with how slow Garcia is going. I don't know if Garcia had some sort of problem, but it's goodness me, it's taken 3 or 4 drivers out of the race, so the attrition rate continues here at Brands Hatch's Oyston Hereford. He might not come from a land down under, but he loves to try the over-under.
Oh, That was actually good.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think Garcia got a puncture there. I can only imagine maybe a puncture on one of the front tyres, and you can imagine once you do that, got no power, got no steering, and that was unlucky. It was very slow, and you can't really get a slow down around this race. You would do well to pick up one. So yeah, bad news, but I don't think it was anyone's fault necessarily, albeit because the stewards may well have to have a view at it. The 137 of Hereford at the front of this one, Zaitsev ahead of Simmons. Can't quite remember if this was the same way round. I assume this is Simmons joining onto the back of these guys, and Hereford's done well. He's been in 8th place for a little while now, but got 3 cars right up his rear, and of course, being up again, the freight train could well be warming up right now. He's got to defend the inside. No, he's all right. He knew what he was doing. He does miss the apex, so that's not going to be wise in any case. Very, yeah, 3 minutes to go for these guys.
3 minutes to go here at Brands Hatch Indy, and who says you need a big, wide open race circuit? You just need a little one like here at Brands Hatch Indy. Tell you what, if you're up in the commentary box here at Brands Hatch, you must get dizzy by the end of the day after a meeting at Brands Hatch Indy. Funnily enough, I do get a little bit dizzy at Knockhill. It's a similar length of lap in a touring car, a similar time of lap, I should say. So you do get a little bit dizzy, especially when it's the motorbikes, because they are incredibly hard to follow because they get up the straight so quickly. But I tell you what, it's been a great drive here from George Simmons. I'd probably say that he's, with the exception of Terje Flatten, I think George Simmons has had my drive of race 3 here, but Fraser Smith and Adam Bath still battling away over 6th spot. And look at Mark Woodhouse, he's just gone. He's had the pace really all meeting.
Yeah, he has, hasn't he? By the way, I will just say well done to Simmons, because that was an epic move from him to get past Zaitsev and Williams on that last lap, getting 2 of them in 1 corner. So yeah, good work from him on that front. Up into 8th.
I bet he's got a good setup on his car, eh?
Oh, well,
Yeah.
I wonder, because of course he is one of the coaches at Apex Racing Academy. So of course, so you can margin as well. I'm ready to spin wheels, but it's a very competitive field, this, and the fact that Simmons is up in 2nd place in the championship, very impressive. And so if you sign up to Apex Racing Academy, you can get some tips from him. 7K driver is George Simmons, of course. That was Barth just holding on against Smith. I thought Smith might be able to hang it around the outside there, couldn't quite stay alongside as they start their final lap of the meeting.
Just a tiny bit of contact there. It's going to be very tight to see if it. I don't think it will be the last lap. I think this is the second last lap. Because yes, not a problem. As you can see from our SDK Gaming graphics in the top right hand side of your screen, our leader Terje Flatten just coming through 30s right now, so they will be getting the white flag this time. Fraser Smith stuffs it up the inside at Druis, but Bath will have the inside for Graham Hill Bend. Will it be enough? Oh, good racecraft there from Bath. Very late on the brakes, but Fraser Smith is really going to make him work for this, and all this battling is allowing George Simmons to get on the case straight away. Now, how will this affect this little battle here, as they will get the white flag next time? So 2 to go. Oh! Simmons fits it around. Bath gets shoved aside by Smith. Zaitsev in there as well. Craig Williams is thinking, thank you very much. He goes up on the cushion and flings it around the outside. Chaos here at Brands Hatch. Wow.
So that's 2 in 1 corners. Oh, can Williams get hit? He will get hit. And will he be able to hit? No, he's hit the wall. He definitely hit that wall. You can ask the wall. The wall will agree. As Harrison holding on against Janssen, but it's potentially a first-time win for Flatten. I can't remember him winning a race, but here he is.
Yeah, Terje Flatten for Norway in the 169 car. Had good pace in qualifying, good pace in race 1, and converts eventually with a win here in race 3 with the very finest behind him. Kieran Harrison in 2nd and Carl Janssen in 3rd. Marcel T coming over the line now in 4th with Mark Woodhouse. Wow, I tell you what, Sam, Mark Woodhouse is on a proper roll right now in that AM class.
Yeah, this is a lot of momentum, and all Ben Gregory can do is just try to score as many points as he possibly can, just to kind of try to dilute the effects of it. But as we know, stopping Woodhouse at the moment, properly driving as a pro driver. Frankly, right now, and that's that 5th place. It's really a testament to it. Still a long way to go. Still 18 more races. No, 18 more races. This was meeting 9 of the championship, I believe. So we've still got. Here we go. Maths.
20.
8, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh dear, I have absolutely lost my marbles. 7 more meetings. I think we've got 21 more races then. I think we've got 21 more races to go in the championship, so it could still change, but Woodhouse certainly putting himself in a good position.
He is indeed. Get those points on the board when you can, and that's what he is doing. Well, here are your results then from race 3, our 3rd and final race of this meeting here at Brands Hatch. You can see the drivers coming back to park up in pit lane. Terje Flatten, a superb drive, got an unbelievable launch off the line and ran a beautiful pace throughout the race to win by 1.8 seconds from Kieran Harrison and Carl Janssen not too far behind. Marcel T was 4th with our AM class winner Mark Woodhouse in 5th. George Simmons was 6th after an amazing charge through the pack. Fraser Smith was 7th, followed by Zasely Zaitsev, Oysten Herford and Marcel Fritsch rounding out the top 10. Adam Bath eventually finishing in 3rd in class, 11th overall. Tim Perry was 12th, followed by Martin Ashert, Igor Shirikov, Sergei Glazkov, Andrew Woodhouse, Bruno Belny, Arjen Bakker, Toby Ward and Baron Glover rounding out your top 20. And the drivers finishing off the lead lap, Craig Williams, Jack Tingy, Andrew Brema, Mikel Garcia, Daniel Neji, Jason Cooper, Roman Botler and Corentin Guinez in 28th position overall. 11 laps back, caught up in that early incident. 29th was Bren Gregory, followed by Martin Shirley, Adam Hadfield, Jack Cedric, Boo Betterman, Jake Robertson, Oliver Ackerman, Wojciech Swiridowicz, Norbert Leitner and John Billingsley. So again, some real big names out of the points, Sam.
Yeah, there's some. Very few drivers had a perfect day, did they?
No.
Somehow, I think Harrison, as normal, managed to finish all the races. But most drivers, didn't finish one of the races, either that race 2 or race 3, race 1. Not too many retirements in race 1 at least. So will be a lot of drivers wanting to redeem themselves for next week. In that regard, because it was a tight, twisted circuit, some very good racing out here, but of course just those couple of big impacts wiped many drivers out of the running. We currently got no drivers in the interview waiting area. However, I didn't set the Discord up correctly. Well, I don't actually know where the next round of the championship is. I can look.
Well, I do.
Very quickly.
I do.
Oh, well, you're absolutely flattering yourself tonight, Peter. You're getting a few compliments on the streamers, on the comments as well about your pronunciation of names. So you're absolutely acing it tonight.
Oh, that's really cheered me up after the negative feedback I heard earlier on, which actually I genuinely had to go and have a little cry. Actually, I was pretty upset about that, but that praise has lifted me off the floor, so I do appreciate that. We're off to Indianapolis, the theatre of speed, or whatever it's called at this moment in time. Of course, we won't be on the oval. Now, that would make a good race. Can you imagine that? Indianapolis Oval, TCR cars, that'd be crazy. But no, we're on the road course, which of course has an interesting history, of course. It's used in the IndyCar Championship every season, but has a interesting history with its Formula One past, but did host a few good MotoGP races.
Yeah, that was on the car on the reverse layouts, wasn't it? The MotoGP.
Yes.
That worked very well. I mean, I just remember. I think I brought it up with the other day. I think when we were broadcasting Okayama, I mentioned how all circuits should have like a run to the line, like at Indianapolis, because I think the finish line was quite far down the straight, and so you could always have a real nice battle coming out of the final corner for the race win. So no, that was pretty cool, and I think we will see some races to the line next week as well, because even on the road layout that we're using, which I think is the layout that most people will be familiar with, you got the final proper corner, and then you go onto the oval, and you pretty much got maybe 700 meters flat out, or 600 meters flat out, approaching the start finish line. So that should be exciting, and it's decently wide as well for the rest of the circuit. So hopefully we'll keep the incidents down, and I think the drivers will hopefully have a lot of fun racing around there, even though it's not necessarily the most fun track to drive necessarily.
Well, I think actually it does get a bit of a bad rep. It's a little bit like the Nürburgring GP, how it happens to be next door to one of the most legendary circuits in the world. And I think Indianapolis Road Course is the same, because everybody talks about the Oval and the Indy 500, and rightly so. But actually, you do get some really good racing. There's a lot of overtaking opportunities. So actually, I think our drivers are going to be in for a little bit of a treat. Now, we do have a driver in for interview now to come and chat to us. Fraser Smith is with Sam Fitzpatrick.
Yes, Fraser joins us now after having a decent day, some mixed results. 14th place in race one. We'll go race by race, Fraser. You're kind of in the wars in that race one, as far as I can recall. A lot of stuff has happened since then, but I think I recall you battling for a top 10, but you just got shuffled down near the end. I mean, what was that race one like, if you can remember it yourself? It feels like a while back.
Yeah, I got up to P10, and then I think Daniel Naj, he got back past in a questionable way, and then he was just sort of defending really hard, so we lost the guys ahead, and then the guys behind caught me, and obviously just made the wrong decisions and ended up in 14th.
I remember that Najee train of cars, which was fun. He was going defensive, I will say that one, and it was tricky for you to get past. And then in race 2, 27th place, I can only guess you got wiped out by the big pile-up. I mean, how was it from your perspective?
Yeah, I think I got up, I started like 16th, got into just inside the top 10, I think, and then probably lap 3 or so into turn 2, I got hit 3 times by the same person, and that was the end of that one. But race 3 was good, 27th to 7th, so not all too bad.
Definitely. That was a fairly good recovery in the end to get some points on the board. Next up, we've got Indianapolis. When was the last time you drove a TCR car around Indianapolis? Will that be a first time for you?
I need to buy the track. So.
Oh wow, good stuff.
Yeah. I know my way around the oval. That's about it.
That's a start. You know, one of the corners. I mean, have you seen any racing around Indianapolis? I mean, what have you heard about it? Are you naturally looking forward to it, or are you a bit skeptical?
I'm sure it'll be fine. I've not really seen anything from memory. But I watched the NASCAR trucks race there a lot in summer, but I haven't seen any iRacing there really. So I'm going into the unknown, and my practice will probably be next Thursday before the qualifying. So we'll see. Well,
I wish you the best of luck, FaZe. I think you'll need it on that one, but I'm sure you'll deliver 3 good results next week. Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, yourselves, Apex Racing TV, Apex Racing Leagues, and all my teammates at Full Sim Racing too.
Awesome. Best of luck for next week, Fraser, and thanks for having a chat with us.
Cheers, see you later.
Fraser Smith there with a 14th 27th. The 27th he won't get any points for because he was 11 laps down, and a 7th to round off the day, getting 20 places in that race 3.
Well, we have the two main men in the interview waiting area right now, Kieran Harrison and Carl Janssen. Let's get Kieran Harrison in for a chat and see what he has to say. Kieran Harrison, welcome back to the Apex Racing TV commentary box. It feels like forever since we've had you in here, pal.
Yeah, it has been a while actually. I've been waiting until I've had a satisfying evening, I suppose.
Oh my, does that mean all the rest since then have been unsatisfying?
Well, not entirely, but some things I was not perfectly happy with, I guess.
Well, tell us about the day at Brands Hatch. The attrition rate looked to be very, very high, but what was it like from your driver's seat getting through the meeting?
Yeah, a lot of it in the reverse grids was just survival as usual. I think of the 4 HM cars, I was the only one who had like a clean race in each one. So yeah, that was the main thing. Race 1 was nice, got the pole, and then I managed to hold a gap until the guys behind started fighting. From that point, it was just cruising to the finish after they started battling. Race 2 was a little bit more difficult because there was a crash right in front of me, which actually took Roman out. That I had to brake really hard for. I got lucky to survive that. But then I had 12x for quite some time in the race, so I was sort of just trying to hold position towards the end, make sure I didn't get a drive-through penalty. And race 3 was just a charge to the front, trying to get through as quick as possible. Well done to Terj Flatten. He held the lead well, and yeah, Janssen pushed me all the way.
It certainly did. I mean, it seemed that you and Carl were almost glued together for the entirety of the meeting. But of course, you're both on a very similar agenda, fighting for the championship. The last few rounds have gone pretty well, but how are you feeling heading into the kind of next portion of the season? Because it's such a long season.
Yeah, it's looking quite good for me at the moment. It was close until a few rounds ago in the championship, and Carl had some really dodgy rounds where he had some bad luck. So I'm feeling good. I'm in the position where, I mean, I don't want to jinx myself because I'm in the position Balfour was in last year and he had the worst luck in the last round. But I'm in the nice position where I don't have to try and make things happen. I can just do my normal thing, just bring home the points.
The steady eddy of Apex Racing League Touring Car Championship, the methodical approach, that's what we like to see. Now, Kieran, before we let you go, who would you like to give a shout out to here on Apex Racing TV?
I'd like to thank you guys, everybody at Apex Racing and Apex Racing TV, and of course my team, HM Engineering.
Brilliant stuff. Well, thanks so much for coming to join us, Kieran. And don't be a stranger. Come back and join us anytime, satisfied or not with your day's work.
Okay, thank you.
Cheers. So, time for one more, Sam. I will hand you over to Carl Janssen.
Yes, Carl Janssen in the interviews with us now. Congratulations, Carl. After a couple of kind of tricky meetings, you managed to get some really good results out there tonight. Starting off with race 1, you must have been pretty happy with second place because it was tricky to overtake, and yet you managed to make 3 overtakes.
Oh yeah, for sure. The pace was very good, so I could catch the guys, but yeah, obviously Brands is it's not the easiest place to pass on. So for sure, it was a good one. Apologies to Vodge though for the contact there. I don't know really what caused it. It's kind of this weird netcode going on where you just kind of tag the quarter or the rear quarter panel, and the car in front becomes like paper. There's no weight to it, so it's like you hit them and then they basically just hook up on you and they're gone. So I guess the stewards will have to decide that one, but yeah. But yeah, other than that, it was pretty good. Obviously, the overtaking is the hardest part here. So, yeah, I think it was a great race, all in all.
Definitely. And then race 2 and 3, you were battling with Kieran quite a bit. I mean, you two going for the championship. I mean, George Simmons, of course, is very much in the fight as well, but Kieran's currently the championship leader. Would you say you race Kieran slightly differently compared to the other drivers? Are you particularly desperate to beat him?
Not really. I would say it's more like he's like every other driver, really. Because it's like, especially on the reverse grids, it's all about getting through the field as quickly as possible. Obviously, Kieran is super quick, so it becomes a bit different racing with him, since you kind of have to think a bit more what you do for your overtaking move. Since it is harder to get up on him compared to a little bit slower driver or something like that, where you can kind of get the exit on them and then get the draft on the straight. With me and Kieran, we're quite close out of the corners into the corners. So it's a bit tricky. You kind of have to line it up. And obviously this track, it's super difficult. So if you are ahead, you have a massive advantage there. But yeah, I mean, all in all, I pretty much race him like everyone else.
The next round of the championship is Indianapolis. I asked Fraser Smith about Indianapolis. He said he doesn't even own the circuit yet. I assume you do. Have you ever raced touring cars around there?
I've never raced touring cars around there. I think I've only raced Indy cars. But no like road racing at all, pretty much. It's a bit of an off track. It doesn't come up very often in official series. So I haven't really raced that one. Which I don't even know which layout is it. Is it the normal one, like the GP track, or is it the?
Yeah, it's the normal one.
Yeah. So that should be good then. But like, it's gonna be very interesting with the whole banking and the draft on there, because it's such a long straight coming out of the last turn. So I think there's gonna be quite some good passes there.
Yeah, it should be good. Yeah, that drafting battle will be fairly epic throughout the meeting, hopefully. Thanks for having a chat with us, Carl. Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, everyone over at Core Sim Racing as usual, and also you boys for putting the show on.
Thank you very much. We will see you back next week.
Yep, later.
Carl Janssen there, third place in the championship, and scoring a second, 12th, and third tonight here at Brands Hatch. And I think that completes all of our interviews for tonight.
Does indeed. A good night's work for both of our championship contenders there, Carl Janssen and Kieran Harrison, and of course mustn't forget George Simmons as well, who bit of an up and down night, but certainly have some very good damage limitation there in race 3. I got a feeling it's going to go down to the wire this season here in the Apex Racing League Touring Car Championship, and you can catch it all here on Apex Racing TV, every round live at 7 PM GMT every Thursday from now until the middle of June. Thanks so much for watching this broadcast. From myself, Peter Mackay, and my broadcast partner, Sam Fitzpatrick, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Virtual Racing School was developed to provide support to the next generation of sim racers. No matter if you're a rookie or veteran or what car or track you'll be racing, our goal is to provide training every step of the way. We found that iRacing can be quite difficult without proper training. There needed to be a way to prepare for on-track racing. With VRS, you can literally learn from the best sim racers in the world, including 4-time NASCAR iRacing World Champion Ray Alfala.
And Ray Alfala is a 4-time champion of the NASCAR Peak Antifreeze iRacing Series.
3-time iRacing Grand Prix World Champion Martin Kroenke.
Martin Kroenke becomes a 3-time world champion.
Rallycross World Champion Mitchell de Jong.
Mitchell de Jong is now champion for the iRacing Rallycross World Championship Series.
And many other top sim racers. Data packs include everything you need to start learning. Our World Championship coaches create the data packs by setting a hot lap or a series of fast laps for you to compare, analyze, and replicate. Data packs also include a tutorial where the coach points out techniques they use to hit the fast lap. This gives you access to the latest driving techniques and setups before you even hit the track. Sign up for a free account and download the VRS telemetry logger. With this application running seamlessly in the background, your laps automatically start syncing to the VRS website. From there, you can analyze and compare 2 laps of your choice, whether it's your data, the coaches, or your teammates. VRS will automatically target improvement opportunities so you can get up to speed even faster. VRS also makes it easy for you to request and schedule one-on-one or group coaching sessions. These sessions can range from 30 to 90 minutes, and you can select the car, track, and setup combination of your choice. Visit virtualracingschool.com today to sign up and get started.